if this simply accentuates the divide between the students who do well and those who don't do well, then we haven't designed it the right way. We have to admit that today it is very hard to find things. My favorite example of this is if you go to any video search, YouTube, Google, Bing, and type in photosynthesis, you get over 30,000 videos. Now I can tell you that 3 of them are really good. One is this guy who's got a guitar who sings a song, and you will remember all the different aspects of photosynthesis if you find this guy. In fact, partly why there's so many out there is teachers assign kids to do little lectures on photosynthesis, and most of those are not the ones that are the ones you should use in your class. And so what we need to do is create kind of a map. We need to be able to say, okay, here's the course that I'm thinking of, and what is the material that peers who I trust have actually ranked and said is very good. There is a nationwide effort called the Core Curriculum that's trying to take some of the cacophony around math, science, reading and writing standards and bring those together. And so you can have what we call a learning map that if you take any place in that curriculum, you'll be able to see the things that are relevant to that. That's one of the technology investments that the foundation is getting behind. Now, if we look out 10 years in the future, I think things will be very, very different. Now, 10 years is a very short period of time. When you think about your institution and getting the parents ready, the board ready, the teachers ready, the students ready, what is the progression over these next 10 years of how you bring technology into your classroom and really try to be at the lead on this? I do think that independent schools have a unique role to play in this. After all, you are independent. And in many innovations in terms of learning, you have been at the forefront. And the fact that you can pursue a different path, that you have an ability across such a wide range of students to try things out, to get together at events like this one, I think it's very exciting. And so, my commitment is the foundation will be doing its part to try to help organize this stuff, to fund quite a bit of it that will be free, to highlight the paid-for stuff that really is worth it. And I think in the end, we'll all see that the thing we care about the most, which is kids learning the stuff that counts, that this will let us do it in a much better way. Thank you.
We're going to go do these. Good job. Awesome. So Bill and I are going to sit in these cocktail-esque chairs. And this is an opportunity for everyone here today to ask any questions of Bill that you would want to ask. It could be about his presentation. It could be about something other than his presentation. And he did say to me that if you question the assumptions that he's making about education, if you question some part of the technology that he's just been discussing with us, then feel free to question those assumptions. So there'll be 3 microphones that will be circulating, and there'll be paddles, and if I can see them, I will call on one of the paddles. And I'm going to begin with a question that I think is relevant for all of our schools. And Bill knows that this is an audience of independent school educators. We're all well aware that Bill started one of the world's major corporations and one of the world's major foundations. Congratulations with that. Done moderately well, I think we could agree. But my question on behalf of all of us is, what skills, Bill, we talk about 21st century skills, it's one of the buzzwords in NAIS schools. What skills do you feel our students will need entering the workplace, either in the nonprofit sector or in the commercial sector?
Well, certainly the idea that you can go online and find a lot of information, and that yet some of that information is accurate, some of it's inaccurate. You have to be really quite expert at using different tools to figure out that. So the basic ability to use the latest software, I think, will be very, very important. In fact, a huge value to organizations is that young people come in and they're much more up to date, and it kind of reverses the normal hierarchy that they are showing the new techniques and new approaches. I'm also hopeful that this ushers in the idea that the boundary between school and the workplace is not quite as black and white. I mean, during school, you're used to being confused and things that are kind of utterly foreign to you, and you kind of persevere through. And then I think a lot of adults, because they don't have access to learning materials, they sort of get in the mode of, okay, I know what I know, and something new comes along, you know, it's like, no, that's the stuff that I never got around to when I was a student, and so I'm not ever